Hello, good morning everyone. I'm audible. I'm trainer Srinivas from 7th Sense Trainer for Audio Session. I hope I'm audible. Audible, right? And please ask your friend to join at the earliest so that we can continue the session. And coming, good morning everyone. I hope I'm audible. Can I get a response from at least anyone so that we can continue with the session? Okay, it's already 10. Good morning everyone. I hope I'm audible. Please ask your friends to join at the earliest so that we can continue the session. In the meanwhile, I have a small question. I hope all of you are very familiar with today's topic, like overcoming objections. What do you mean, or what do you understand by this particular topic, overcoming objections? What is your understanding? Can anyone help me with this? Why it is so important, or it is so or do you think it is very much required or very much essential for us to overcome the objections that are given by any of them, any individual who comes up with an objection to our thoughts? What do you understand by this particular term, overcoming objections? What is your understanding? What it might be? I think it is very much really required. I'm audible. At least anyone could help me with the response. I would really be happy. Well, I hope I'm audible. What is your understanding regarding if someone asks you that and objects you regarding any of the thoughts that you have? How will you overcome that objection? What are the ways? What is your understanding regarding this particular? What is I want I'm not asking for a very precise definition from your end. I just want to know what is your understanding regarding this particular term, overcoming objections? Anyone could help me with an example for this? Sometimes, okay, we'll make it still more simpler. Objections are one thing. When they split into two words, overcoming objections. Overcome means going ahead of that, or solving that particular issue in a better way. That is what refers. What do you mean by an objection? Like sometimes there is a dilemma. Like what I can say? There is no precise way to understand that what is an objection and what is a request. Okay, don't confuse an objection with a request for information. An object and is a statement made by a customer or a client for him or her, not sure about the service or not sure about what they are selling or what they are doing. That is what it refers as objection. Sometimes if a customer says that whenever, let us take a small example, understand it in a very precise way. We'll take up an example of any, what I can say, uh, an example as a pen, like daily day-to-day use commodity, right? Okay, like all of with all, like I think it would be better if we take it at a larger extent. Like all of us are familiar with the manufacturing sectors, right? Like the Maruti as well as something like Toyota. Like it is very easy for us, for all of us to like understand it. Like if you are a individual and you are planning to buy an automobile, let us take an example. Other that, you as a customer, like you would visit a particular automobile shop or like showroom or an like outlet, and the organization employee of the particular organization say that this is like a Maruti Vitara Brezza or something like that, and say that it will give you a mileage of 25 kilometers per liter, but you know that it is not 25. You will give an objection. You will like say that there is no way to get a 25 kilometers of mileage in this particular segment, especially to the Maruti Brezza. This will be your question. Like this is an objection, clear cut objection, because you know that what is the outcome, but what we can call as an request is like when you visit a particular what you can say outlet of a showroom for buying an automobile or purchasing an automobile or purchasing any or for anything or any purpose of purchasing, when you are not knowing sufficient information, you might ask what can I say the representative of the particular organization to give a briefing, like where would be mentioning the cost, like what are the features, what is the features that will be included, and how is the like what will be the mileage, what are the service factors, what is the build quality, why you should buy this, why it's better than others. This information that is given by the particular employee of the particular organization is called as an information. We cannot relate both of them to objection. Okay, objection it can be done only when you have a clear cut idea. Okay, hope you got that. Okay, got a response. Sorry, Srividya, I did not I was looking into the slides. Thanks for the response, Srividya. I hope you got that right. Like when you go on to buy a particular commodity like an automobile, if someone says you gives you a what I can say or not a precise, or you know that it is not that much, like it is the mileage of the particular automobile is not 25 kilometers per liter, whether is when you object, that is called as objection. But requesting for the extra information like what might be the on road cost price or what might be the service charges, how can I extend the service warranty, these are the questions that will be asked, like that will be taken from or like the as from the customer's point of view, that is called as request for information. Both are really different. Okay, difference between excuse and objection, they are really different. Excuse is a weak reason why something cannot be achieved or completed. All of us like know that, right? An objection is a concern or a question for more information about that topic. Like an object, all of us are very familiar with the excuses, right? When you're in our academic career, but I've given a lot of excuses, right? Each and every individual, irrespective of me or you. Like when I was in my academy, I had also given some really what I can say excuses over a period of time. That is not an objection. That is not that we cannot say it as an objection. An objection is a concern, like where we will be questioned or like we will ask them for the more information if their information is particularly precisely wrong. Customer who makes an excuse is usually making up a reason that he can't buy a product or a service from me today. Okay, let us take a very familiar, like you might think that why this like overcoming objection is not all required for us. It might be not so essential for us, but take away all of you would be like imagine to get like they would be aspiring to get into some of the organizations, right? At least some of you, or like more like okay, if you're not, some of you might be willing to get into the organization. Some might feel that I want to make a startup of my own. Some might feel that okay, I want to like make it like I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to continue my mom's or dad business. Obviously you should be having a skill to overcome the objections that are made by your clients or customers, right? That is very much required. Sorry for that. Yes or no? Do you think it is really required, like to satisfy the clients and the requirements of the clients to survive for a longer period of time? Yes or no? Do you think it's so much essential? Yes, it's an absolutely a very much damn required thing. Okay. Any doubts? Okay. And what are good objections or bad? Like there are, is there any good objections as well as a bad things? Any or like any one of you like feel like yes, there is a good as well as a bad thing in each and every one, each and everything. Like when you have it, like when you think in a sales perspective, like in the perspective of sales, like when I took an sorry for that. Initially, when I took an example of an automobile outlet, where the executive of the particular organization or the employee of the particular organization is like looking for an opportunity so that he can make what I can say, he can make a sale for his particular organization. Yes or no? Most salesperson think of objections as a bad thing, but they are merely missing out the big picture. If you are good customers raise an objection, that's actually a good sign. Why all those things we will discuss in some time. Why do you think like if a customer is giving us or pointing out us negatives, do you think like that customer is a real loyal one, or do you think like like we need to take into consideration the thoughts or the idea like or the what I can say idealizing of that thought process of that particular customer. To think like it is very much required to get into to their shows and to look have a look at in their perspective. Yes. Do you think it's yes or no? Do you think it's really required to get into the shoes of our customer, looking from their perspective? Do you think it is very much required? Do you think like yes or no? Come on, guys. Like if some like when you take like I think all of you had been in this particular session like giving feedback or taking criticism, right? Like if a person is clearly mentioning you the negatives, like clearly is mentioning that where are the areas or the key in areas that you need to have a look. To think like that is a good way. He is a very what I can say a well wisher of yours. Like what do you think it might be? Like if someone is like giving you a very clear indication that you are lacking in this particular set of skills, like is that a constructive feedback or a like or it is a destructive feedback? All of you are I hope you are like uh you remember what is constructive as well as destructive. I know you guys you remember very well. Okay, if he's giving a very precise way, like mentioning the key areas that I am lacking over a period of time, obviously it is a constructive one where he has a well wisher or he has a friend or like a relative or like a elder brother. He's trying to make you a better person over a period of time. That is what it refers as. Okay. That is what refers as constructive feedback. Very much required. If someone is like really precise, like giving you a clear cut and your thought process will definitely knowing that is mentioning the same, is mentioning the harsh truth. You cannot like you can neglect that, but you will be the loser at the end of the day. You will be solely responsible for the things that you achieve over a period of time, the things you lose over a period of time. Okay, and coming back to this particular question, I'm hoping for a response, guys. At least a response from anyone. Like when I take up a small, like if someone is giving you a very clear way that these are your negatives, please try to improve that over a period of time. They're not actually mentioning that it is not, it is a waste, it is a absolutely and waste stuff. They are just giving you the hints that you can make it still more better, the best in the market, the best in the segment, be the best. If someone is highlighting you that particular things, how you as an individual like should take it, we should take that it is a very good sign, right? If a customer or a client is raising an objection on particular set of things, because they are the one, like I think all of you are familiar with the internal customer and the external customers, right? Like with the customer service part or the soft skill, we had a discussion on that, right? Who are internal customers and who are external customers? Anyone? The name itself is trying to give you an answer. Anyone would like to give a try at least? Like what might be internal? A very easy, like easier one, right? Internal. The name itself suggesting something. Internal customer is a customer who is like in a particular organization and is working for the same organization and is buying a commodity for himself. The same. Like let us take up an example. Like if you are working, let us assume that if I am working in Maruti Suzuki, if I am going to buy an Vitara Brezza or like some automobile from Maruti itself, I become an internal customer to that particular organization. And if a customer is, though it might be internal or external, giving the precise or mentioning the negatives is the best, what I can say, the best that you can do from your end. And very much essential the question, when do customers or the clients object? A customer can object anytime during like their wish or their call, from introduction until the closing, till they purchase everything. Right. If you are an individual, like you want, if someone promises you like gives you a promise that this will long last, or like buying any commodity, if they say that if it will last for like nearly 2 years, if it breaks down in the middle of like fourth or fifth month, you will definitely object that, right? You will definitely like say that you are not worth of that, the word that what you had given to me were not, you don't stood on that, you don't stand for that. There is no point in making an, or like what I can say, like now you are like making a very clear objection, like you are trying to overcome the objections by giving some reasons. So like what best is like overcoming objections, try to reduce errors as much as possible, try to like what I can say, don't try to like give some false promises. That's the best thing that you can do. Attitude towards objection, what it might be attitude towards objections and all. Like coming to attitude, how should be the attitude? Objection. An objection is anything that a customer or client says, like that is an obstacle for a smooth closing. If like the sometimes we have like all of us like want to get into the what I earlier asked you a question, right? Whether you want to become an entrepreneur or want to get into what I can say, clients, when you're having a meet with them, like everything will be going really smooth and like really fine. But at the end, literally at the end, what I can say at the end, like they will know that when will be the closing. They will give a clear cut, like a small indication that it is say there is some changes that are required. Like, can you help me with that? Like, they will object at the end. Like, if someone interrupts you, then itself in the initial stage itself, would you feel as an individual happy, or like you as an like you might be the boss of the particular organization, like you are the main head, main what I can say, the main pillar of the particular organization. If someone interrupts you in between, and a client of yours says that is objecting that, how you as an individual would feel? Not so good, right? Though it might be a very small change, not the best way to do that. And welcome objections. Like this is an art that cannot be like learned over like in just 1 or 2 days, or like like for like doing it for like 1 month or 2 months. It takes a lot of time, like learning to accept the objections, like the challenges will be like not so easy. Will fumble you when you can't respond, which often causes you to fail. Like sometimes when someone is giving an objection, you'll be in a like blank state of mind. When you are in a particular blank state, what okay, there is some something not, not so really clear for me. I think have I think that what has according to according to my okay, if really strong one thing, okay, sure, we'll do that. What happens if the system go down, or like the client, like the customer might not be very what I can say friendly with the design of that. And why do you think the customers or the clients like object in any of the things that you as an individual would do? Like in like if you are thinking the perspective, like customer itself, obviously all of us will be in the place of customer, in other place. Right? No, like absolutely will be in the point of a customer. Like why might be object? Like why might we not agree on some certain instances? Why is it so? Some of the psychological reasons like dislike decision making, old habits, reluctance to give up something old for something new, and unprecedented experience with others' compliance or the compliances. Like dislike decision making, like why? Because of the decisions that or thought process or thinking process of each and every individual cannot be the same, right? It will be differing from each and everyone. If I am an individual, I am unique. I might be having my own set of requirements. I need to satisfy that, and according to the habits that we have, and like an unpleasant experience. Like how you might like reluctance to give up something old. This is an usual habit for all of us, right? How we can anyone like explain or like give an example for this very easier one? Like a small example, like like guys, all of us, like when you're using a thing for a like longer period, like at least for some, at least like for 2 to 3 months, there is a bond built, right? And we will not be ready to accept the, like what I can. Sometimes they, like all of us might not like have this attitude, but sometimes some of might we will have a bond like built over that, and we'll be like really thinking like we'll be in the dilemma whether to go with that or to remain with the same old thing that would be better for me, or how it goes. We'll be having all these thoughts, right? Yes or no? Because you are like the bond has been built over a period of time on a particular thing. And why customers object? Why do you think like clients or the customers might object? Because the logical reason is the customer isn't convinced that this is the things that what you have like given them a briefing is that is not, might not be that, that might not be true, and the customer doesn't understand. Like otherwise, the one thing is like yeah, understood everything and is having a lot of doubts. Other thing might be is not understood even a single word about the thing that how like how it works and what is the procedure that we need to like follow. The customer doesn't need to hide the reason. Sometimes they might object you for like without any valid reason. That is what it refers. Okay, like suppose like anyone who has done this like without giving, like you would have really be interested in that, but because, or what I can say, you would have felt that okay, this I need to buy, but this is not the right time. Let me object it by saying some random reasons. Like all of us have tried this, right? Yes or no? At least for this one, guys. Like I would like yes or no? Like we would have done this, right? Yeah. Any doubts till now? Regarding the topic that has been covered till date. Sorry, till date as well as any topic that you have like any doubts and any topic like any doubts on this today's session. Guys, there is some issue with internet. Trying like connect. I'm not able to see the chat section. Okay. If anything is there, please interrupt and coming back to how can I tell the difference between a fake and a real objection? This is another important thing. If you are an individual serving for any of the clients, or like if you are turned up in a meet where you need to convince the fellow client for the particular, for the betterment of your organization, or to reach the sales figure, or to reach the target values set by your organization, you could really make it out by these particular, how like is that a particularly a precisely a real, or what I can say, a decision that is very damn serious, or it's not at all, like is giving just it for like a reason, or like instead of like tying up with us is giving a random reason. How we can make it out, how we can differ, how we can make understand that is a like is a client or the customer is really faking or giving you a false information for you as an individual of the particular organization. The customer is hiding the real reason, often because of the environments or the, or to avoid the conflict. Sometimes, like when I take up an example here, like all of us like will be having desires, right? Each and every individual. Is there anyone without any desires here? Like not at all having any aspect, like not all willing to at least do anything in his or her life, at least not to enjoy. Like all of us would have like sometimes we'll be like turning up to some of the like really costly, what I can say. When I take up an example of all of us will be having a desire to buy an automobile, right? Each and every individual of us, like it'll be a dream, right? When we approach, when we like get into an automobile outlet or like something like that, and you are an individual as a customer, when you ask like client, like the client or what I can say, uh, when you reach as a customer, the client of the particular organization will come up, like turn up to you and ask you what is your requirement and all those things. And if you say the budget is like around 5 or 6 lakhs or 10 lakhs, he will obviously look for 10 lakh itself, like nearly like 12 11 or 12 lakhs, because to make this organization or like give a better profit margin for his organization. Okay, for that particular reason you'll be doing that. But you as a customer would feel that, like when he comes up and says that, okay sir, this is an automobile with like nearly a cost price, or what I can say, on road price of for nearly 12 lakh rupees. You as an individual feel that, okay, I had a budget of just like 5 or like around 7 lakh. It might, and if when you, it might embrace you at sometimes, never know, that might also be the reasons. And serious objection will be repeated over again. Like this is one thing where you'll come to know that the customer is damn real serious about the objection that he is making. When how we can come to know that, like he's the point that are mentioned by him are really damn serious, and he's like taking us to for a ride. When do you feel this? When do you think this might ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ ಹೌದು. ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಆನಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಆನಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಹಾ. ಹಾ. ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ಇದಾರೆ, ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದೇನಿದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಮೊದ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ. ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾ. ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ಫೋನ್. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಫೀಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನಾನೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಫೋನ್. Like when you think like the customer is like the objection or the client that is given by the customer is damn serious, obviously what I can say is very much damn serious. And how you will come to know that? I will take up a small example. We have visited a particular automobile section or like an automobile outlet. As we take taken an example for the fake itself, the same example will be considering for the real thing. Like here, like I'm an individual, I might be like looking for like I know all the specification about each and every automobile. I'm really interested in that. So I'm aware of the technicalities. If the what I can say, the employee of the particular organization comes up and says that it is giving it might give you a mileage of around like 25 kilometers or 26 kilometers. I will obviously say it as I will obviously say that as a no, right? Because I know the clear cut technicalities. Sure, sure. I will just forward you. Thank you. Like I will clearly object period of time, right? Because my say point from my I will be damn sure that I will repeat that n number of time. Like it will not at all come to all the way to that mark. I would definitely say that yes or no. Like if you are an individual and someone says to that, if someone says, let's take up an example, a very familiar question, using our writing pens, right? If someone says it and comes up, says that this is a pen, it will last for like really 1 year. You can write continuous for 1 year. Would you like seriously? Would you take into that consideration? Would you feel like that might be true? You will definitely object him for saying that there is no such thing because you are not continuously using various n number of pens over a period of time. You know that obviously pen could survive for like 1 year without refilling is not all possible. You will clearly show a clear cut objection from your end, and answering immediately or postponement of objections may result in what might happen. Like if any organization postpones the like the feedback that is given by the particular customer. Like when I take a small example over here, like all of us, like what might happen? Like let us take up an example. If someone has given you feedback, let us take you as an individual in academic career. If you are like what I can say, like we can relate that to feedback as well. Objection that is given by your like your parents will be objecting you that you need to study for more number of time. You need to give some preference for like the studies that what you are doing. When like if if someone is saying that your parents are giving you a suggestion that this is the one thing that you need to concentrate. Like if you're not taking that objection in a very serious fashion, what might be the outcome of that? Like what might be the outcome? In the same way, if someone is objecting you, like if the particular organization is postponing that particular set of things, what might happen? Like what happens is like when the customers are not all like listening to that, and the customer feels like you are hiding something or you're like trying to solve for that, like you're all giving them the right or the art information, you're trying to like give them just or like not a clear cut idea that you are only not having. When a customer feels that the organization people are not only aware of the technicalities and the appearance that you feel also it's a problem. The appearance that you are not able to answer because you do not answer that, like because you do not know the answer, and the appearance that you are uninterested in the customer's opinion, the appearance that you are not symptomatic. Like sometimes if you're like, if someone, if a client is not being given the importance that he or she like, or the attention that he or she needs over a period of time, would you think that it is the best thing that we can do from our end, or the best what we can say? No, right, that's not the best thing. Is that the best way? Like if someone is not showing, like giving him the right interest, do you think like that is the best that's the best way? No, right. And the customers might agree that they need your product or service. Your product is a solution to the problem, but they want it to be still more better, like the best at this particular, like in this particular segment. And your company is the one to deal with. The time to buy is now. The price and the terms are fair. All those things they were looking. If you are an individual, if you are like planning to buy even a small commodity, let us take up an example of a mobile itself. Like you would like, obviously you know that which you will do a lot of research. You will like ask your friends, you will look search, you will look into the field, like what I can say, the reviews that are given by those who have brought that over a period of time, and you will look into the cost as well, and the service that will be provided after buying that. All those things you will look in, right? When are all these things are satisfied, the end result will be the best one. Yes or no? Like if an organization is giving, like what I can say, like if someone is giving it a particular commodity in a far better price, which one you as an individual would look in, you will buy like a better, like if someone is like giving the same commodity, let us take up an example that for 10K a mobile is there, and for the 50K another set of mobile is there, but the same technicalities are the same features, or like what are things are really damn similar, then which one you as an individual would prefer? And a negotiating strategy for handling buyer's concerns. Like listen carefully, confirm your understanding of the objection. Sometimes if you are an individual, like hear the customer out. Like sometimes like looking into the customer, like looking into the things that what are said by the Like we need to look into the clear cut precisely like what is the problem, right? And clarify, and we need to classify them. Like we need to give, if a customer is saying that, if you are an like a person or represent a particular organization, or if you are like trying to represent a particular organization, if a client says that you're not offering the best quality, we can get a better quality from other organization X. How you can clarify? You can mention that clearly that this is a segment, but this in this segment we are the best. Why? Because it is the cost is really less when compared to the others. They might, in that segment we have another commodity for you as well. You can look into that. We clearly clarifying them that what is, why they are unique and why it is being done in a different way, all those matters. And ask if there is anything else, like if they are having still anything like what I can say objection from our end. Okay, and try to have a very clear cut precise idea that what is a genuine objection that they are making and what is the excuses that they are giving. Okay, and select a specific. Okay guys, in the meantime I'll paste the attendance form so that we can fill that, because left with only 13 minutes. I think that's better to fill I'll give you the attendance form right now, because at the end it will be really hectic for you. Please fill this form, very much required to keep a track of your attendance. Please fill that. We'll get back the same slide and select a specific technique and base on a decision on. Answer the objection. Like what does it mean? The customer's behavior. Like sometimes the client, what I can say, the customers will be really be shaky. We cannot expect them every each and every customer to be one and the same. Some customers might be like depends how their mood is. Sometimes they might object like irrespective of everything is right. Previous day they were saying that yeah, everything is good and everything is fine, but next day when they come, because of their personal stresses, or like what I can say, each and every individual will be having a lot of things to do right in a short time. So to that, to overcome the difficulty, what is the thing that we need to implement from our end? Like we need to know the art of prioritizing, right? What does it mean prioritizing? Anyone could help me with the definition? Uh, okay, like and the number of times that this objection came out and type of objection, like we need to look in. Okay, a lot of things. Okay, and confirm with the customer that you have answered the question, or like answer the objection that they had. Like sometimes the customers like will forget that what was their objection in the meantime, because in the heat of like or talking up or like giving them some ideas. Once you solve the objections, continue with the sales process as usual. Like sometimes when you are like having a very business deal or a formal meet with many of your clients, like when you're done with this, like clearing an objection of a particular like person, like please try to continue with that. That is what it refers as. Please try to continue to conclude the overall meet at the end. And feel understand how you feel. Like because sometimes there might be some error from our point of time. We need to accept the what I can say, the point, make our customers feel the same that we are guilt. We were not we would definitely look into because we were aware, because only when you brought it up to us and when you cross check that, we came to know that it was true. Here is what they found. If I could get you today, and then I will go ahead with the offer. Okay, that's the best way. Turn the objection into a benefit. Customer don't like this size. This is exactly the reason you should buy it. Sometimes what we can say is like the customers might not be so interested in some particular commodity. Let us take their like they might think that or like they will be not be having a very clear cut idea about what is their requirement. Like how we can specify this? Can anyone help me with this? Like all of us are like when you take up an example of buying any commodity, like when you think of like buying a what I can say mobile phone, some of us might be like really be interested on the technicalities, but the individual of that like if it depends upon what is the type like also smartphone that is required if you are a college going student or like it is for your professional purpose or it is for a personal life. There are some different technicalities. If it for your personal use, I think it requires like a better storage because like long like better price and what I can say better quality smartphone than the really what I can say a low price or a low build quality. They will give you a suggestion because they want that because for a personal use you are using means it will be along with you for like what I can say bare minimum like all the time when you, apart from your sleep, right? Mobiles or smartphones are really so essential now, very much required. Yes or no? So they will give a clear idea that what are the things that you as an individual should look in. Okay. And sometimes you need to take in the consideration that the ideas given by them will surely help you out. And the common objections. These are some of is trying to like buy a commodity for himself or like for a family or like he's trying to invest a money. He's saying that he wants to have a second opinion with his friends or like family or the business partners before like investing in something. Okay, this can be like this is really a positive outcome because he's already thinking that he has a client is trying to like already having a mindset that I need to invest because he has already found out that it's a very good investment. Okay, but try to suggest a joint sales meeting before between a client and their counterparts in order to answer the questions and help them to make them the decisions in a very easier part. Like when you come to know that he is not only the solely or like sole decision maker, try to call all of them who are really like important in the particular decision that is or the particular meet if they are going to for a tie-up or if they are going for a partnership, and try to have all of them there. Okay, and the trust. It seems like you know what you are doing, but how do I do? You really have the necessary experience to do this. All those things, like like sometimes like building a brand name or like building a trust of the customers is not an easy task. You need to be really be honest and consistent. Can yes, obviously like to making a brand means to gaining a trust. Each and every organization has made a name for himself over a period of time. As like gain the trust of the customers, right? By clearing their objections, like making them specifying that why they are unique, why you should like you as an individual should look into these things. Okay, be forthcoming with the information and share the testimonials, case studies and references that will help you in some answer. Give the client the confidence that you are the one who can survive for a longer period of time. Okay. And some general tips of handling objections is keep the customer attitude towards your product positive. Like give them a positive vibe. Don't say that like you as an individual, the particular organization, don't let your products or yourself down. Or like whatever might be the situation. Again, let the customers know you are on their side and help with the objections and like help them give them a clear cut idea like what are things. And help with the objection like whatever might be there like objections, please try to help them with that. Like if some individual customers have some objections, clarify each and every objection of theirs. Okay, bring out any or all of the main selling benefits now and keep on selling. Okay, that is the one thing. Thank you for the patient listening for the past 1 hour. Any doubts? End of the session. Thank you for the patient listening for the past 1 hour.